So there's a lot going on there. I think something that I've been paying attention to that might be similar to what you're talking about is I've been interested in collaborative forms of organizing, sort of the movement away from command and control to more collaborative forms of organizing. And when I started out in my 20s, I wanted to get rid of hierarchy. You know, I thought, well, we don't need hierarchy. Let's get rid of hierarchy, right? And
you say that's your opinion?
In my 20s.
Oh, when you were young.
Yeah.
I think hierarchy is one of the oldest order principles in evolution.
For example, and really when I learned that hierarchy wasn't going to go away, I was in a Tavistock lab. Have you been to a Tavistock workshop?
I did group dynamics for years.
Yeah.
I was a group dynamic trainer when I was young.
Tavistock?
Not Tavistock, but it was one of the.
Well, yeah, I'm a T group facilitator. I'm trained as a T group facilitator. Yeah, right. So, but I went and did a Tavi lab, and boy, at the end of that, I realized, oh my God, people are not going to let go of the illusion that someone's in charge here, because if they did, they'd just scare the shit out of everybody. And so I realized that, and then I realized watching unstructured groups, T groups, that hierarchy always emerges, and that without it, we're unable to punctuate social space enough to be able to do anything together. Nothing gets done without it. Yeah. So then the problem becomes, well, okay, we need hierarchy. What's good hierarchy? And I think Elliot Jakes had, the best work on that. Elliot Jakes, on his requisite organization, and he has this models of hierarchy. Yeah. But anyway, so in trying to understand, well, how do we build more collaborative forms of organizing? It became pretty clear very early on that, well, this isn't about how do we get everybody to participate in every decision. That's not going to work. But then how does someone occupy a position in a hierarchy and do the things that are required for that to work, but at the same time create collaborative forms of organizing? And so I started working with this idea that about 15 years ago that collaboration rests on micro relationships of partnership. And I think this is where we might be getting to a similar place. It's
I saw tomorrow a video where you defined what partnership is for you. Would you repeat it?
It's a relationship in which we both feel responsible for the success of our common purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Our definition of team is so are responsible together.
Yeah. So there you go. So very similar. So and what of course happens in hierarchy is people naturally want to give the boss responsibility. So it's almost like and the boss, without thinking about it, sucks up the responsibility.
But that's not I translate responsibility with ability to respond, to answer questions. But this means something different. It's somebody who can be blamed if it fails.
Yes.
Or where we can put our illusions in hope of success.
That's right. Or are you familiar with the work of Barry Oshry?
No.
Okay, so Oshry has a systems model and it's around power dynamics and how that works. And he has a simulation that is really quite brilliant. And what happens is we say, okay, you're the boss, you're the worker. And what happens is, within minutes, the boss has pulled away, is busily worrying about what's going to happen and what direction do I need to give and all that. And the workers are sitting back going, okay, I'll just wait till somebody tells me what to do. And then you take the same people and you shift them, and they immediately go into that same space.
That shows the archetypal patterns of culture.
Yeah.
I'm also in Jungian since decades in Jungian psychology.
So it's like, as Oshry says, it's predictable, but it's not inevitable.
But the consequence is we have to think about learning processes that change these archetypal patterns.
I agree.
And
so I've been thinking about, okay, so how does a leader in a hierarchy create a relationship with the people who are working for him or her where we both feel responsible for the success of our common purpose, recognizing that they have to be working against that all too easy tendency to want to give responsibility to the leader. Right. So clear leadership was a model that was really looking at how do leaders go about pulling the rug out from underneath themselves when they want to be collaborative leaders, right? But they do it, but they don't realize that what they're doing is they are making people go, okay, boss, you're in charge, tell me what to do, by not understanding that everybody's creating their own experience, and that's a long story. So, but what I started to do about 5-6 years ago was look about, okay, what are the things that a leader in a hierarchy is held accountable for, not just by the people above, but by the people below. Okay, some simple things. We need to know what we're here to do. We need to know who's doing what, right? We need decisions made in a timely fashion. We need task and resources allocated in a way that feels equitable and fair, and people need to be held accountable. And so the question I started working on was how can individuals do those things, but do them in a way that sustains a relationship in which we both feel responsible for.